Hi there. I know we're a little bit late. Funny thing happened on the way to the virtual wine tasting tonight. We sat down, we were sort of reviewing our notes, and we suddenly realised that we'd grabbed the wrong wine. So you're going to get a little bonus from us tonight. So stick with us.
Hi.
It'll still be fun.
I'm here.
Tonight we're doing Gala Estate. Hi, Bruce Flowerpot. And Jolene. Hi, Jolene. I think you might be in the ACT and might be joining us for the first time. If so, welcome. Lovely to see you. We'll just pass a little bit of time while a few more people hook on. Oh, everybody's been there waiting. Excellent. Well, Helen, shall we let's
Sure.
get going?
Sure, let's do it. So a number of you would have been watching the virtual wine tastings. So just to tell you a little bit background of who we are and what we're doing. We're the Farm Shed East Coast Wine Centre. So we are in the town of Bishano, right in the middle of the east coast of Tasmania. We're featuring, we have 22 vineyards on the east coast, and we decided throughout winter that we would do these virtual wine tastings where we're just going through each vineyard and picking out some interesting wines from them. So we started in the south, which was at
Brim Creek.
Brim Creek.
We started with Brim Creek. Yep.
Brim Creek.
For those that perhaps aren't as familiar, the East Coast wine region goes from Marion Bay, which is just before you get to Tasman Peninsula where Port Arthur is, heads up the coast past where we are, which is adjacent to Freycinet National Park and Wineglass Bay, which is quite famous, and heads an hour north of us up to St Helens, which is the Bay of Fires, which has also, again, been rated one of the 10 best beaches in the world by Condé Nast, I do believe.
Yes.
Yeah, so lots to see and do. Lots
That's
of
right.
nice beaches to walk.
So we're about halfway up the coast at Gala at Cranbrook, which is about 10 minutes south of Bishano.
Indeed. We're in the warm heart of the wine region at the moment.
Absolutely. And a big shout out to Jolene and Alex up there in the ACT. We sent them a box and a half of wines just last week, and it looks like they've got them. So there you go. Australia Post is delivered for us. So that's
right.
Excellent.
So let's talk about Gala Estate. In 1821, it's another one of those old farms. For those that haven't been with us before, quite a few of the vineyards on the east coast are diversified farms and some of them were settled by white people when they first came to Tasmania, and they were given land grants by the government. Gala is one such. Springvale and Kelvedon are two others that are still in the same family. So what we've got at the moment on site at Gala is the fifth, sixth and seventh generations, I think it is. I've been talking to different people today, or is it the sixth, seventh, eighth? Anyway, they've been there an awfully long time. It's the Amos family, and they've been living and loving this land for 200 years, breathing the world's cleanest air, surrounded by 4 wild rivers and 5 private forest reserves. And one of the reasons I'm saying this is that they're another one of the farms here that are very ethical. They've got an international accreditation for sustainability. They've got a heartfelt and honest integrity about farming the land, treating the sheep well. They're not mulesed at Gala, but they produce international award-winning superfine merino, 18 microns. And they're committed to leaving the farm in better shape than they came to it.
Which you can, they have in their lovely little cellar door in Cranbrook. You can purchase some of their fine merino wool.
You can.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, we have a couple of stories tonight, and I don't know if this is what you're expecting, Jolene, but here we go. And Alex. So in 2000, we left Hobart. We bought an old bank building in Swansea, and it took us 10 months to... We thought it'd take 6 weeks to renovate it and spend a couple of $1,000 and create a cafe. Well, it took 10 months. During that time...
not $10,000.
No, we ran out of money 3 times, but then we've never had money. Just vision, I hope. Anyway, during that time we had an open door policy. and we invited locals to come and talk to us about what we were doing with the building, because it was a heritage listed building and it was quite a significant building in the fabric of the Swansea community and had been for an awfully long time. So one such person who turned up was a woman called Ruth Amos.
Yes.
Now, Ruth, I think at that stage, Helen, would she have been in her 90s?
No, I reckon she was in her late 80s.
Yeah. Beautiful woman.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that was our first contact with the Amos family. The Amos family have been at Gala since 1821. A land grant was granted to Adam and John. Adam in 1822 became the chief district constable, and John was a really respected artisan and builder. But they were also innovators, and one of the other things that Gala says is that they're at a crossroad of history and innovation, and they've certainly been innovative with their practices in this generation, and they were back then. By a few years in, they innovated and created flour that serviced the gold rush in Tasmania. So they've always adapted and done different things, and it's a fascinating property. Now,
and then
yes, go on.
So I mean that was in the 1800s. So in 2007 was when they started planting out some vines.
They certainly
So that was the beginning of Gala Estate. Wine, as we now know it, started in 2007. So it's really interesting the sort of history that these places have and how they do adapt and make good as they go along.
Now, if you acquaint yourself with Gala Estate, the family were originally from Gala Shields. So although we've been calling it Gala for 20 years, we have recently been corrected, and it is Gala. You'll see the name Greenhill. Now, fourth generation, only girls. So Ruth had 3 girls. Ruth Amos, who sat in our backyard back in 2000. Pat Amos married Bob Greenhill.
Yep.
They had a son called Adam, and Adam and Gronya are now the managing generation with ongoing participation, I must say, from Pat and Bob.
Absolutely. No, they're still there.
Pat's out there mowing the lawn out the front of the little rustic cellar door.
I've seen Bob on the tractor having a whale of a time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So another quick story, and then we'll get on to the wines, because it is a wine tasting. About 2002, I'm guessing, when we were living in Swansea, in that little heritage building that we made into a food and coffee bar that people said Swansea wasn't ready for, but they were, as it turns out. We sometimes used to go down to the pub for a counter meal, and around that time, at the pub appeared 2 Irish barmaids. Their names were Gronya and Irene, and they were sisters. And they were so lovely, and we got to know them a little bit over that time, and then they sort of disappeared. Sometime later, you might remember better than me, Helen, they came back, and lo and behold, Gronya married Adam Greenhill and moved on to Gala Estate, and her sister Irene married Duncan Sinclair, and they set up Wine Glass Bay...
Frasno Marine Cruises.
Yeah.
Or Wine Glass Bay Cruises.
Yeah.
And they sort of disappeared. They went home, but they couldn't stay there. They had to come back and be with their men that they fell in love with while we were here. So it's a lovely story of Irish girls meet their farmer
and make a huge contribution to Tasmania as a result.
Absolutely.
And interestingly enough, the winemaker for Gala Wines is a man of Irish heritage as well.
There you go.
It's Liam McElhinney.
Oh,
so let's get into a bit of wine.
Yes. Now,
yes.
Go on. What do you want to start with? Well, we made a bit of a mistake. We came home all ready to have a go at the Gala Sauvignon Blanc, and then I did a quick check on our list, and of course on our list is the Gala Rosé. So
we're going to quickly do both.
We're going to do them both.
Yeah, because there are some really exciting things happening at Gala, and this is the Sauv Blanc. We'll just quickly tell you, Helen, what are we going to taste?
We're tasting the 2019 Sauvignon Blanc. It's the first vintage of Gala doing some vegan-friendly wines. So, sorry?
Yeah, absolutely.
I used to say, well, what makes it, and we get questions all the time, so what makes a wine vegan? Because surely it's just grapes that go into the wine. But some of you will probably be aware that during the winemaking process, the product that is used to filter the wine is often based. It's a protein product that is often a derivative from either fish, dairy, or eggs.
Ah.
So that's what makes a wine not vegan. So there's a lot of vineyards these days that are actually wanting to go down the vegan road. It's a good selling point. Some winemakers will say that it means that you get more of the pure taste of the fruit, that you're not really getting rid of that. So there are two ways to do a vegan wine, and it's all about the filtration. So there's one way is just to let the sediment of the bits and pieces in the wine as it's fermenting to just sink to the bottom naturally. And sometimes you will find wine that has some sediment at the bottom, and that's really what that's about. Second way to do it is to use a protein that's found in a clay-based product, and so it's a plant product, and that's how Gala actually do it. They use a clay. I can't remember what it was called now. Something called bentonite, which is a clay and pea protein. It's a mineral-based, fining agent. So that's what makes a vegan wine.
Fantastic. So from the 2019 vintages of white wine at Gala Estate, they're all vegan. And from the 2020 vintages, all of their red wines will be vegan-friendly. So terrific. Let's move on to that rosé.
So we thought we'd keep on with the doing the Sauv Blanc because that's the vegan wine.
And
so
because it's one of our favourite Sauv Blancs. It's a beautiful, dry, crisp Sauv
bit of passion fruit, a little bit of citrus, but a bit of passion fruit. There's a bit of body in it. It's quite nice. So the wine that we're actually tasting tonight is the Gala 2018 Pinot Rosé.
Yeah.
So it's quite light in colour. Some of the rosés that we've done. Some of the rosés we've done over the last few weeks have been quite different. We've done a Shiraz rosé, which was the one from Springvale. We've done a Cabernet rosé, which is from Hurly Burley. So the Gala rosé is a more traditional rosé made from the Pinot grapes, which is what most rosés are made of, or made from, I should say. It's what do you think about the rosés?
Well, I think that the rosés that we have from the East Coast wine region span different palates, as all wines do. And this one, I love this one. It's at the drier end, and
it is.
I really like that drier. It's a little bit strawberries and cream. But not in a sweet way.
So you get the dryness of it, but you get some fruit as well, and it's really pleasant. Yeah. As I think Jolene said that she's loving the rosé.
I'm so glad that you're liking the first wine from the East Coast wine region that you were tasting on our behalf.
Yeah, no, it is. Yeah. I can really see it as a nice afternoon drink.
Now, another thing that we're doing at the moment over this August period is reviewing all our interpretations. For those that haven't been to the farm shed, we have a bit of an exhibition sort of approach. So we have a bit of information about each of the 22 producers on exhibition hubs, and I've been updating them because it's now 3.5 years since we opened and since I did this process, and I'm learning something new every day. So the size of Gala Estate is 11 hectares, and they've also bought a little bit of Kelvedon. Actually, it's quite fascinating because
I'd say it's not a little bit of Kelvedon. Well, it's probably a little bit of Kelvedon, but it's actually quite large in
Springvale
itself.
sold a little bit to Craigie No.
Yep.
Gala sold a little bit to someone.
Now, you're going to need a family tree now, aren't you? We're going to have to do all the connections and stuff for everybody.
This will all become clear over time. But what I learnt today was that the average size of East Coast vineyard is 4 hectares on average. So Gala Estate is a little bit bigger than that, 11 hectares, and that new site at Kelvedon that you see as you drive up the coast right by the beach is 17 hectares. So that's currently in development. It's not yet producing, but there's going to be more beautiful wines coming. We do need diagrams, Andrew Ross. We might have to get you onto that.
So
get a little pointer and point to...
Suffice to say that Gala is growing, and growing both physically in terms of how many more vines they're planting out, but also growing in reputation. And they're winning awards. They're in the Halliday book. They're getting the points for Halliday.
I'm glad that you mentioned that.
A nice little segue into...
No, I've got a quick thing to add. They're the second oldest family business in Tasmania.
There you go.
And they've just received really good reviews from Halliday, both for their Chardonnay. They got 97 points. And their Constable Amos, because as we've said before, some of the bigger, the sort of medium to larger sized vineyards here, large in East Coast standards, not large by South Australian standards, have a couple of different levels. So what we've got at Gala is the black label level, which is their reserve level, which is the one that we've just been...
Their premium level.
Yeah. Well, no, above that is the Constable Amos, obviously named after the original Adam. Now that
we know that Adam, the original Adam, was a
constable. Yeah. And then they have the white level label. And Gráinne was telling me today that they are continuing to target their wines to the restaurant wine list scene, and their dream is to be their desire is to be one of the best producers in Tasmania, and they believe that if they set their standards at that higher level for the black label range, then the white label, which is the more accessibly priced and easier drinking sort of label, will always follow with good quality, and they certainly do. But we'll get on to the black label.
Let's get on to the black label Pinot Noir. It's what's the year, Subi? I've forgotten.
This one is a 2016.
Now I've just
what it looks like.
I've just noticed that Jolene's already started onto the Pinot, and she says it's quite spicy, so let's have a go. I just had to give a quick shout out to Rhonda, that apparently we just got a message earlier that, Rhonda, you're not allowed to drink all the wine before Paul comes home. Okay?
Yeah. Now, the other thing that's happening at Gala...
It is got a little bit of spiciness in there.
It's spicy.
Beautiful. What are we going to eat with it, Subi?
Oh, Helen. Now you're talking. I don't think
I'll just show you this. See that?
Anyone recognise what that is?
It is cheese. So it is, Subi?
A Bruny Island Cheese Company cheese called Owen, O-E-N. Now, we've had this cheese before, and just because we like being personal with you, we are going to Bruny Island next week for a couple of days. We've just trained up new staff, and they're going to cover a couple of days for us, and an old friend's going to come back, and we're going to take 3 days away now that Helen's back from her 10-week sojourn in Melbourne and in quarantine in the hotel in Hobart. So Owen is washed in Pinot Noir and then wrapped in grape leaves and left to mature in the leaves.
I don't know if you can see how, where is it?
Oozes.
How oozy that is. It's fantastic. And I have to say, I've never been a great fan for sort of nice strong cheese with Pinot, but this and this Pinot is fantastic together. So get onto it.
So a little bit more about this Pinot. It's described as having a super luxe, full-bodied and wonderful structured framework to match. Aromatic and intense bramble berries. Now, are they slow berries? I don't know what a bramble berry is. Might have to take that question on
Yes,
notice.
I might have to look up brambleberries.
So brambleberries, whetstone and rose florals, slightly smoky, with hints of silky soft tannins.
Seriously, it's a seriously nice Pinot. It's interestingly, it's actually quite a light colour, but it's got a full-on flavour. So I always find that a bit of a trick when you look at it. You think,
One
that's
might
going to
call
be a
it
light one.
juxtaposition.
If one wanted to use that word, one could.
It does feel light, but it has such complexity and...
Just ramble on for a minute, Subi.
I wonder if essential ingredients stock this cheese quite well. Jolene, two things. Bruny Island have a fantastic online wine club, and Cheese Therapy, who I've spoken about a couple of times, that's actually where we got this cheese from, because Cheese Therapy profile artisan cheesemakers throughout Australia, and they had a box of Bruny Island. So they post, it comes to you in 2 days. It's just brilliant. So I reckon you can get your hands on some. We've got,
So just to
Check it out.
Just to go back to what we were saying, a brambleberry looks very much like a gooseberry to me. I've just googled it up. So
a very
gooseberry,
a very big blackberry,
or a blackberry,
sort of.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
cool.
So yeah, but you can go onto the website of Bruny Island Cheese Company, and they, I'm sure, will get together a little pack and send it your way.
Or Cheese Therapy, and just order the Bruny Island pack. Now, I came across a couple of other comments from people about this wine, so I just want to share with you, because one of them said it just melts on your palate. And honestly, with that cheese, Helen.
The cheese. I think it's
cheese and
fantastic
that wine,
combination.
yeah.
I'm in heaven.
If anyone's sitting there saying, but haven't you been saying for years that cheese dulls the palate and you shouldn't have it with wine? Well,
we have said that.
Look, it's about the cheese.
And you know, whoever said that we can't change, we're pragmatic. We're pragmatists. We can do the shift.
Absolutely. So watch this space. It's probably time for us to wind up. We've gone a bit longer than normal, but Gala, we have a fond memory for Ruth Amos, who was actually very active in the history room in Swansea, and she gave us photos of our old building that dated from the 40s and 50s, and so we're very, very, very fond of her. And someone else said red cherries and cinnamon.
Excellent. So I think that's about it for us. So next Thursday, we're on to Devil's Corner.
We are.
And we
have some stories about them too.
Oh, that's right. What do we're doing this?
We're doing the Resolution series. I think we're doing the Resolution Pinot Gris, and I think that we're doing the now. Gala have the Constable Amos, which we've learnt the reason for. Devil's Corner, at their upper level, have Mount Amos. Amos, strong family name in this area. So, watch out for the Shirazes coming out of Gala. They're going to be released through a couple of wine shows very soon, and they're ones to watch. We've got some sensational cool climate Shirazes coming out of this region. So we'll keep you informed of that.
I'll just let you know what we're actually doing for Devil's Corner. In case anybody wants to purchase the wines that we're going to be tasting, it will be the Resolution Pinot Gris 2019 and the Mount Amos Pinot.
There you go.
Did you just say both of them?
Yeah. So to all of you who've joined us tonight, thank you so much. We love knowing that you're there. I've also mentioned the people that watch our wine tastings afterwards. It's been hovering around built up from 200 to 400. Well, I think we've topped 600 this week. So hi to you. Thanks for joining us. We love East Coast wines.
Yes.
We love talking to you about them. We love selling them to you. We love
And feel free to contact us if you want to purchase any, or you just want to give us some feedback. Happy to take any sort of feedback. And hopefully we'll get to see you next week.
Yeah, or even better, when this current living of history passes, we look forward to seeing you in the farm shed. But meanwhile, take care, stay safe.
Absolutely.
Anyone in Melbourne, we're doing free postage on care packs or direct orders of 6 or 12 bottles to Melbourne, because we really feel for you, but we so know that you're just doing the right thing. It could happen here tomorrow. We know.
So if there's anyone in Melbourne, just give us a ring and we'll sort it out for you.
Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Bye for now.
Bye. Sorry.